I'm breaking the construct of humanity itself and saying, look, I am here to be a game changer. I'm here to be a facet of my own play, in my empowerment, in my total embodiment. Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? We're here to shift a paradigm on power play, money, wealth, sex, and be really real about it. So, just gonna open the space. Hey, Jen, how you doing?
How is life going for you, Z?
You know what? It's going. I don't know that I have words for that right at the moment. I think I'm like, so there's a lot going on over here, and I'm just like riding those waves, doing pretty good, but also like like that, kind of like that.
Yeah, I can certainly relate. I like in my own personal life, things are like blowing up in a not great way. And I can see when
Okay.
you just mentioned power, I'm like, oh my God, I saw how I gave my power away yesterday, and I am not happy about it and not happy about the events that happened. I mean, I'm happy to share with that. But on the other side, with the collective, oh my God, the past week and a half have been nuts. And I swear to you, Z, I did a video on this the other day. There's a countdown going on. It started with 99, and we are at 00 today.
What? Today's the day.
Oh, yes. Okay. So for those of you who are like keeping up with current events and you know yesterday's power outage in Europe, I want to backtrack a little bit because the World Economic Forum actually mentioned a while back, don't be surprised if there's cyber attacks on the power grid. You know, I
Right.
hate when these guys announce stuff. They have to announce it before they do something, but no one takes it seriously. And even the EU, like out of Belgium, they mentioned to their citizens, be prepared, 72 hours worth of emergency food, water, whatever. And nobody takes that seriously until yesterday. But before even getting to that, last Monday, Easter Monday, was
Yep,
the
yep.
99th birthday anniversary of Queen Elizabeth. So we got 99. It was also the date that the Pope died. He was 88. The
Right.
countdown began. Okay. 5 days, and then that week, you know what happened was really interesting was the EU went on the power grid, on renewable energy power grid for the first time. They went 100% on Easter Monday, 100% natural energy or whatever, renewable energy is
Right.
what we call
Right.
it.
Right.
Okay. And then there was a bunch of news on crypto. XRP announced their
Yep.
ETFs. Banks
Yep.
announced that they can custody crypto, which means they can buy and sell, or they can help their
Right. Right.
customers buy and
Right.
sell,
Right.
which
Right.
is
Right.
total
Right.
racket. Then you get to 5 days later from Easter Monday, you get to Saturday, which was the Pope's funeral. Okay. Also, so we had 9, we had 8. On the Pope's funeral, it was Melania Trump's 55th birthday. You can't make this stuff up. So we have 9, 8, 5. On that date, silver was $33.33 and
Yep.
gold hit $3,333. I've got screenshots. I can't make this stuff up. Okay, so if
Right.
Saturday
Right.
was 3, 2 was Sunday, 1 was Monday, the day that, the power grid blew up in France. No, in where was it? It was in Spain, parts of Portugal, parts of France.
Right, 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 right. I'm like, at this point, the way that I'm seeing the collective, I'm like, there's quite a few blowouts, so it depends on
Yeah.
where.
And then today, do you know what today is? 00 day? It's Trump's
Zero.
100th day in office. 00. So
Double
Z,
zero.
I don't know what's going to happen today, but I think the countdown, like today, hit 0. The clock hit midnight.
I'm gonna say it's a really good day.
Okay. Well, please give us a little bit of hope because I don't know.
What I can give you is these aspects of the power play interplaying themselves out so that we have the ability to be at this zero line and stand in ourselves with being fully abundant and like walking that, right? We're going to be walking it entirely. That's the whole goal of this. I'm laughing internally in my head. I'm like, how many times has the Pope died already?
Oh, at least 4.
Like My God. Like
I
let's
know.
anyways, so the numbers are all kind of settling their way in. How are you feeling about the numbers yourself? How are you feeling about them in your body?
Well, my chest is like because yesterday I had this really weird thing. So you know that I'm going through a move
Yeah.
and I'm selling all my furniture so I can start new in the new location. And yesterday, the gal that was going to do my estate sale just up and fired me for no reason other than I asked if I could keep two pieces of artwork and ask if we can bring, some folks to the sale early. And she just lost her mind and fired me on the spot and said, "We're not doing your estate sale." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm moving in less than a month." And her cleaning lady ironically calls me 2 minutes later, checking in. "Oh, how you doing?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And she goes, "Well, I'll do your estate sale for you." And I'm like, "This feels fishy. I don't know why." But you got to like really listen to your intuition.
Sure.
And this
Sure.
is where I gave my power away. I said, "Yes, please help me. I'm desperate." Girl, I have never been desperate a day in my life. Well, maybe I have. That's maybe not entirely truthful. I might have been, but I very am practiced in giving away my power, saying I can't do this on my own. What am I going to do? Because apparently I have this issue of trust and faith and not realizing that maybe there was a gift in that for me. And so I'm sure a lot of us are giving away our power right now in ways that we shouldn't because we've got this in ourselves. And there's
Yep.
another probably great thing to come in. But man, oh, that was a sucker punch yesterday. And so when you ask me about the numbers and how am I feeling, it's a
Yep.
bit residual from yesterday. And then my face is getting warm. So I'm like, it does feel like a countdown. No one's talking about this. But I mean, it's so clearly there, to me at least.
Yeah, no, there's the signs there. It's just us in our internal selves looking for the signs and knowing that we're stepping out of it ourselves, right? Because even in the collective, like I felt it too. I've gone through these processes where I'm like, this last couple weeks has been really strong on my boundaries and not giving my power away, right?
Oh,
Where
see,
I've been like,
that's
so I've had
good.
that interplay, and I'm like, bitch, no.
Well, what happened? Give me an example. Tell me where you did not give your power away.
Mm. Let's see. I would have to say the biggest occasion. Well, I've also had like gold and silver coming into my life just from different sources, just coming in. Like I didn't ask for it, but it's literally just coming in. Like here you go. I'm like,
Like, did it
okay.
come in the mail? Did it come in someone's hand? Did it show up under your door? Like, how did it show up?
So I had a few separate people that were like, hey, I just feel like this is supposed to be meant for you. And I was like, okay.
That's
Some of them are friends, some of them are like acquaintances where I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah. So I'm sitting here like with this gold and silver. I'm like, I don't really know how to do this. I'm gonna laugh right now because like it's landing in my pocket, right?
because you need
But
to
to get
have it.
to that point, yeah, to get to that point, literally before that, I had been meditating for a week. Before that, it was like a span of 3 days where that was coming in.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of like sitting on my altar, like looking all pretty. I'm like, oh, I don't really know what to do with you yet, but
Hold it because I love holding silver. There's such a great resonance that I get when I hold it. And even like the sound of it. Oh, I love it.
yeah, it's juicy. That's really what it is. Like 3 days before that all came into play, I was sitting in meditation with gold itself. And the frequency of it was stemming through my body. And it was also saying, like, look, how much have you played the power play game, the manipulation game? How much have you given yourself, like, away to the wealth constructs? Okay, of
Yeah.
what wealth is, what success is, like in the parameter of a human aspect. And I was like, fuck, that'd be a lot.
Yeah. We even talked about it on our last video with manifestation,
Manifesting.
right?
Right. So I was sitting there like, okay, what have I been giving away? And my body, this was a very intuitive body hit of giving me a visceral memory of how many times I gave my power away, my money away to things that were chasing versus generating or being inside my body. Blah, 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 be abundant when I already was abundant. Okay. And for that too, that had to be like my femininity, my brownness, like all of that popped up as like, I'm going to be a little small here and dainty because like otherwise I'm going to get taken down by some sort of outside force. Relationships. How many times have I given my power away in relationships, given like the money away in order to people please or like sense of security, whatever the case is. So it viscerally told me every single point that was stuck in my body where I had played the game in very small ways.
Yes.
Small ways. How much power I was giving my way, how much I was chasing when I didn't think that I was. And I was like, I didn't know that that was a part of that, right? Like I didn't know like even walking in a store and even expressing like, ooh, I want this, was thinking that I was abundant. But when really I was like, I'm going to give my power away to this item or whatever the case is, and pretends that I have it. But there's so much power being given away in the space that I had to cut everything, bring it all back, and then realize the people that I was interfacing with were not actually helping my situation.
No, but what was the payoff for you of playing it small in those situations?
What was the payoff? Safety, man. It was like just a safety matrix that kept me going, oh yeah, like I can go back to that because like it keeps me safe. Like it
Yeah.
keeps me like feeling like if I'm a part of the system, I'm gonna say the system, the control system, the manipulation system, then I am in some format safe, and I can keep up with that. And even if I don't have loads and loads of money, it's fine. Like I'm still feeling like I can do what I need to do. It's just very small talking language.
Yeah, and I would even say love and affinity, absolutely. Safety and to be included and to be wanted, even in the
Right?
exchange of being at a store, like, playing it small so that person behind the counter will accept you for,
Exactly.
for all you are, right? But in
Yep.
that
Yep.
moment, you diminished who you thought you were, and so they had to mirror that back in some way.
Yes.
But I can't
Yes.
imagine, I can't see you ever diminishing that piece of you. Like, to me, you're so vibrant and big and like amazing and like such a huge generator from within. Like, I love that, and I practice that to be like that.
I mean, yes, and yes, and it's there. And I will also be honest to everybody who's listening, even multidimensionally. I am here to learn and experience like everybody else,
Yeah.
right? So even though like I've worked, and I have to say I've worked very hard to be where I'm at. Like this wasn't like in a little journey and I'm naturally where I'm at and abundant. Like I have gone through the darkest of the shits to be where I'm at, right? Like so I will say that. But coming into these spaces, it was just these little pieces that have blindsided me.
Okay.
That I was like, oh, because I was walking in abundance. Like I was super abundant over the last few years. I'm like, no, I have everything and I'm everything I need. I'm generating more. Like I'm doing great. But blindsided by the fact that there was still little me playing a story, and not just here, like in my other incarnations too, that I lined up and I was like, oh, so this next leg of my ascension phase is to consolidate all those, get that out of the space where I am in free flow. This is easy. This is generating easy. It's coming easy. And any of these old perspectives had to leave.
Yes. Amen to that. Get rid of them.
Yep, getting out of there. So, and just tiny little hooks that I didn't think were something that was gonna make a difference. But when I was working with the gold, specifically gold, running through my body, it was like, just take a look at this. Like these are tiny little hooks that your body would not have consciously been aware of. I'm like, all right.
Well, and that's amazing that you were able to attract the gold into your life so that way you could feel the resonance and know that there was still a piece of you that needed to be healed with that.
Exactly.
Because,
Exactly.
there was this really awesome, I don't know, quote I saw on Instagram or somewhere, and I'll butcher it because I wasn't thinking of saying it right now, but it was, you know, you don't have to go out and get it. It's all about receiving it. And once you do, you pray that you have the wisdom and the ability to
Right.
keep it and to grow it. It's like it's one
Right.
thing to attract it. Now you
For
got it.
sure.
Now what? Guess what?
What?
Gold's worth $1 billion. You've got it, a couple ounces now. Now you're a billionaire. Now what? What do you do with it now that you got it?
Exactly.
And if we're not
Exactly.
ready for that next step, it's one
That's
thing
it.
to receive, but if we can't keep it and
An
grow it
expansion.
and use
Heck
it for
yes.
something powerful and good in our lives and in this world, what's the use of having it in the first place?
And that's, I'm going to circle that right there because that's exactly what we're working with. That is the paradigm right there.
Okay.
Everybody, that is what we're shifting right there.
All right, let's do the work. What do we need to do?
Let's do the work. Okay, the
Yeah.
first thing that I got, well, that happened to me when I got the money, it came into my attraction field, was not bring it in to get money for it. I said, okay, I'm going to sit with you. I'm like, how can I keep generating this energy with you and a partnership? And I always say in a partnership because I want it to be in partnership with me. It's a part of my field. I'm attracting it so that I can continue my route in expansion.
Yeah.
Which also means how much more can you expand in surrender, allowing? How much more can you expand in that and being entirely in the unknown?
Oh, that's so tough because we like to plan things. We
Mm-hmm.
like to have, there's safety in knowing. And right now, okay, I am in an absolute perfect place to comment on that. I am terrified right now in the unknowing of how I'm going to sell all this furniture and get it out of this house because there's new people moving in a
Right.
month. And
Yep.
what do I do? I have a 5-bedroom house full of crap that like I was expecting someone to help me. And now the unknowing of how I'm going to move this and how I gave my power away to say to that cleaning lady, sure, I'll let you help me. When in
Right.
reality, I could probably do it myself with some friends, or I can actually try and sell it maybe to the people that are moving into this house because they're moving in from Europe and they don't have
Right.
anything. And so trying to swing that, but the unknowing is so challenging, but at the same time it's also the beginning of creation. I actually put
Right.
this in my LinkedIn page, like I love working with a blank slate, a clean piece of paper, and from there you get to create. I mean, I didn't use those exact words, but I'm paraphrasing. But like
Yep.
the unknowing lets you step into unlimited possibility to create. So
Right.
instead of
Right.
giving our power away, it's what do we choose to do with it? What do we want to create like it's a game?
Right.
Although it's really hard to see it in that moment when you get sucker punched.
That's very true. That's very true. So another aspect to this paradigm shift, which I would have to say that I feel like it seems like it might be a hard shift to do, is saying, hey, this is just a game and I'm creating my reality. So how am I playing with this game? Because this is really all the universe is. This is all we're doing down here is playing a cute little game to see
Right.
if we can remember and go back into abundance, which seems like a really hell of a game because it is. I'm laughing at myself here because I'm like, what the fuck? Okay.
I said that a few times yesterday. Oopsies.
Just get it out. Just get it out. Just get it out there. I have to still like be very, very in contact with my body, my intuition, how she's feeling about certain parameters and allow her to do so because it just like, okay, like we seriously came down here to remember to do it is one giant game. In order to switch our nervous system, our vagus nervous system into going, hey, this is a game, you got to be doing this consistently. Okay, look, I'm interacting with this in a way that's giving my energy away. Let me step back and zoom the fuck out.
It's like being like in a rat maze or a labyrinth and you get to the
Totally.
dead end. And in that dead end moment, our nervous system is going, I have just died. It is game over. Instead of taking a step back, turning around and going, okay, I just hit a dead end. Let me go find a different path that gets me to the finish
Exactly.
line. I am not dead in that moment.
That's it right there. And we've got to get out of that lovely little parameter, that survival piece. I don't want to say their names, but they're going to come anyways. The lizard perspective, right? I
Okay.
don't like bringing in that reference, but my body was like, I don't want to talk about them, but we're going to do it anyways. The
Well,
lizard
yeah.
perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Don't we have like lizard DNA or reptilian DNA within our,
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
it has been in the very core of our system. Now, in the way that our processing is shifting, that is shifting out because we're not going to need that survival piece, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
not interplaying. That's now telling your system, oh, I'm not here to survive. I'm here to thrive. So you better pick another pathway in this game. This is not a dead end route. I'm not dying. I'm just expanding.
Yes.
Right. As soon as your body knows that, and this has been a very intricate process for me. I work at every single night. Every time I'm hitting that point where I'm like, I'm here in an expansion point. My body's like, that's a lot of expansion. I don't know how much more light I can freaking take in, or much more abundance. And I'm like, hey, remember that we're in a little game.
But is that where we get blocked? In like we have a construct of how big we're allowed to be for ourselves.
Yes,
Well, how
we
do
do.
we shift that?
I'm gonna say humanity as a construct itself is if you're like looking into like energy, you're looking into spirituality, you're looking into people who are talking about this stuff. They're like, it's so dense in our human bodies. Well, what are our human bodies doing? Like we're here just with our soul. Like saying that in and of itself is gonna put us in a box. Our bodies don't like it. So
Right.
for me, I'm breaking the construct of humanity itself and saying, look, I am here to be a game changer. I'm here to be a facet of my own play in my empowerment, in my total embodiment, generating, getting all of that traction rate that I is necessary for me to want to move forward in my expansion. But then I'm gonna see how much more I can expand in that. I'm not gonna just give it away. I'm not gonna just like cash it in. I'm gonna see how much more I can move with this.
So in the moments where we feel dead, where we feel like we've hit the end of the road, we feel
Yep.
stopped,
Yep.
I guess what you're telling me is we have to expand our power,
Mhm.
realize that we're not dead, and
Right.
we've got to kind of like check in with our bodies because every ounce of our body is going, ah, fight or flight mode. Like you were just saying, like that reptilian kind of mindset of the body goes into survival mode. So we almost
Right.
have to like talk ourselves out of that survival mode as we back up, expand, and create with play.
Create. Yep.
That's so hard. Like I've really struggled with that with
I
play.
get it. No, no, I get it.
Really struggle, especially with my son. There was something that just like I lost the ability to play when he was little, and I
Mhm.
haven't been able to really get that back. And I tried really hard. And I think I've actually worked with you a little bit on it. So
Right.
where are we with the collective of being able to allow ourselves to play?
Usually from what I've seen and also like in my own system, like from my birth all the way until now, working in with the human collective, is that we sabotage our play. We don't know what it is. We have our little children pieces who have been told that playing too much is not okay, that being too loud is not okay. So we've had this sense of sabotage ever since we were little. And our little inner childs are still looking at like, how am I going to play society, our wounds, religious perspective, governmental perspectives has shut down how we play. It's been a very monitored piece. It's been a very much so a parental, hey, that's too much. I'm going to need you to calm your shit right there, okay? Quiet down. We've been in controlled places of play instead of allowing our imagination to take us, be where it needs to be, because our inner childs know how to play this game very well.
But I think you're right. Like the bigger government got over his throughout history, the bigger it got, the more of the parental role it took on. And the
Yep.
parental role was just kind of dampening creativity, stifling joy, stifling play. Because if they did, the people would kind of rebel against the government.
Totally. They'd be in their own creationary story, which is where we're headed right now.
It's the what creation story?
Yeah, we'd be in our own entirely own creationary story, which is what we're looking for right now, where all of us are creating in ourselves and co-creating with each other in a way that is unity consciousness, in a way that's love, in a way that's completely abundant, in a way that keeps generating itself. Okay, and that's been a constant stop and a suppression over and over and over again. So those of us who are pulling out of that, who are now interplaying with that control piece, are having a bit of a challenging time stepping out of the box.
Well, what about for the people who say, when gold and silver or the financial system or something, I have some form of abundance, whatever that abundance looks like based on your investment strategy. When the abundance shows up, then I can play. Like, what do you say to that?
No.
What
I
do you
say,
mean, no?
I say
That's been my entire modus
no.
operandi.
My direct like no, because what are you waiting on? Like, how do you think that it's actually going to change when you're like, I'm going to wait for this to drop?
Well,
You're
I feel stuck until it does.
there we go. Okay, okay, okay. And also, how long have you been in that space of feeling stuck and staying stuck and waiting for it to drop?
Several lifetimes. Well, okay, can we do like a little energy exercise to help unstuck the stuckness?
Absolutely, we can. Okay. All right. Where's your body feeling right now with this culmination of this energy that's popped
It's
up?
in my face and then like in my chest, but mostly in my face.
Okay. Okay. What does it feel like? I'm going to just do the opposite of this in your system to take action instead of wait. What does that mean to you?
It means going into the unknown, which is cool if I get to just do whatever I want, but I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I literally, well, I do know where I'm going. I just, like, from A to Z, I know where I'm going, but like, or I should say from J to Z, I know where I'm going. But in the alphabet, the letters in the middle, I can't see them.
Okay.
Unknown to
Okay.
me. I can't, like, there's a couple different options and I don't know which one to choose. I feel like I can empower myself. I mean, when push comes to shove, I'm good at making decisions. I'm just sort of in that, like, oh my God mode right now because I planned it and now
Sure.
it's not going to plan. And I have to sort of regroup and figure out a new plan and make sure it all lands on a postage stamp.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So what I'm really hearing is you're stopping yourself from moving forward due to all kinds of different constructs popping into the play, and also preventing the wave of expansion due to fear of what the unknown could actually bring you.
Yes.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in because everybody, this is a story that we're working, and I've worked it too. I mean, literally, that's why we're doing this all together. I am no different from anybody, and I have just worked this one like 2 weeks ago. This particular one that was hanging in my body.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
which was waiting for something to drop, waiting to play,
Yes.
waiting to.
Yes.
That's the one that I worked with a couple weeks ago. I was like, why am I what am I waiting on, little kid, little child of mine? And she's like, oh, you're scared of the unknown. There's a piece of you in your body that's scared of the unknown. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. All right. I want to just have you come into your body for a second.
Okay.
Take a really big deep breath. Where is the stuckness, the density running through your system right now? Is it visceral? Is it everywhere? Is it in
It's
your chest?
now on the left side of my body and it goes from like my lower abdomen all the way up to like the side of my face. It's like a line right here.
Okay. Okay. Where is it then? This is going to be because it's obviously your feminine side, something you suppress in your feminine side.
Yeah, I'm a single parent to a little boy who's amazing, but I have to be mom and dad, and it's tough. And I'm doing it all alone.
At the same time.
And it's tough, and I lose aspects of my femininity. You even mentioned that right at the beginning of this chat, like you've been working with that aspect of yourself, and I, I there's a part of me that knows I can do this. I have done it multiple times. I have moved plenty of times, but like I'm worried on the impact of my son. I'm hoping that things kind of shift with the financial system so that way it makes everything easier when we get to the other side. And, I can see the dominoes kind of falling and they're falling fast and faster and faster. Like I know things are shifting and changing and I'm plowing through it, but damn it, it's hard. It's hard right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I totally understand that. What do you feel like the story is that's stuck in your body?
Okay, the thing that's top of mind for me is what happens if these blackouts that happened throughout Europe yesterday, what happens if that takes place while we're moving? And I'm all alone in the middle of nowhere with a kid and a dog. And what do we do? Do we prepare for this? What if all the preparations I've made throughout the last 10 plus years, I've just left behind and now I'm out on this road trip and I got nothing to protect my family. And we
Okay.
get stuck in the middle of this.
Okay. Okay. What is that story telling you about your worth?
That I'm allowing external forces to kind of dictate my success.
Okay, deep breath there. You took a little gulp there. I could see it running through your throat and your chest.
Yeah, I've got water here. Hold on. I'm gonna take a sip.
Get it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing a lot of work on my worth, but we're all a work in progress. until
We
we
all
get
are.
challenged, right? We're confident and we're great until we get sucker punched and we get knocked back a few pegs. And we're reminded that the work isn't finished yet.
Work is not, and the work is never going to be done. Even when we transition out of this particular state and place, like we're always going to be working the next level. That's
Yeah.
expansion.
Which I love. I mean, that's like also my passion. Like I love doing this type of work. I love
Yeah.
expanding because I see the benefits in my life like exponentially. Oh my God. Just incredible growth as a result of doing this kind of work. But every once in a while something shows up to reflect that mirror back to me that needs to be shattered because it's still on that, like you say, on that loop.
Right.
And it's really a fear of what if I can't do this on my own? What if I can't do this on my own? What if I can't do this on my own?
There we go. There we go. So let me know how you feel that in your body for a second, one more time. We keep breaking up here. All right, internet. Come on, stay stable for a second. We can do it.
All right. Can you see me?
I can see you. I can see you
Okay.
right now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What I'm going to do is just have you bring in the awareness of that fear and also the aspect that's tied to your worth. Okay. What links in your body do you feel like is giving your power away to those pieces?
I don't understand what leaks.
Yeah, what is leaking out? What is giving the power away to those particular stories?
Oh my God. I don't even know. Can you help me with that? I know sometimes you can like what do you see on that? And I can tell you if that resonates with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Shifted. I honestly, what I truly see in the energetic space in the field is that there is a lot of energy being given away to an outside force.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Anything,
absolutely
anything
get that.
else, anything outside that could possibly like tell you what to do to get what you want. Okay. And this is not just here. There's a parameter that keeps going. Like it's a big one. And honestly, we all have had this. This is not just her, it's not just me. Like we all have played this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna say right now, because we're kind of already giving it awareness. Well, first thing do, I choose something different. I'm not gonna give my power away, and I'm not going to give that energy any more of my power, my food. Like they want to eat you. They want to eat all of that energy up. You're gonna be tired, exhausted, and you're gonna keep playing the game of the power play where you don't get anywhere.
Oh my God, I'm tired all the time.
Yep.
Exhausted all the time, especially by like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Game over for me.
Right.
Which
So
doesn't allow me to play with my son because that's, by that point he's home from school and, I'm like, I can't handle it. Too tired.
so what is one? I'm gonna say this. What is one action step to stop interacting with that energy?
One action step is to just acknowledge in the first place.
There we go. Yep. Acknowledge that it's there. Acknowledge that you might be playing the game. Acknowledge that your body might be kind of trapped in it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I mean, first and foremost, again, I call my power back. I'm like, I'm not playing that game. Give me all my energy back. That is a no for me. I'm going to create a stronger boundary with myself, and I'm not going to interact with it, whether that is people who are kind of in that game playing that arena,
Sure.
or I'm getting a sense of either a collective force or a governmental piece where like I can tell I'm feeling a bit tired, just something's there. Call my power back and say, no, I don't want to interact with you, because here's the thing, I'm a sovereign being. I can
Yes.
generate my own abundance. I can generate my own expansion outside of that box. I'm not going to play. And what happens, where people get caught the most,
Uh-huh.
is where the residual pops up a little bit to get in your face, to get you to go back into that game. Whether it's, a tax document, whether it's somebody saying,
I mean, I'm still dealing with tax documents.
yep. Whether it's somebody or a family member or a relationship that's all of a sudden like, you're bullshit, you blah, 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 blah. And they come rearing at you just to cackle that piece of you. So you can say no, or you can go back into the game. You decide right there what you want to play.
Yeah, I'm saying no. I called my CPA and they were basically saying that a lot of people are getting these tax announcements saying you owe money from back taxes. I've had a professional CPA do my taxes for the past 20 plus years. And he goes, your taxes are accurate. These are AI generated letters. And I'm like, oh my
They
God.
are.
And
And
it scares people. And it scares
really
people.
does.
And she said, all you have to do is just call them out and they stop sending it. They're just trying to see what else they can get out of people. And I'm like, That is so counterintuitive to what you think a responsible agency is doing.
That would be the case. I got one too. Don't like,
Did
and
you
I'm like,
really?
no, this is generated. I'm not playing this game. Like, because I don't know that. So no, like let's not play it. But they are doing it. It's a part of the scare tactic to pull up and people fall back into it. And they're like, oh shit, I gotta pay that. Right. And then they go back into the game. Okay. Like, I would stop for a minute to call your power back and say, hey, like, is this my reality? Do I want this? Like this doesn't
No.
feel right. Because to me, that's the first thing my intuition was like, no, this doesn't feel right. This is not accurate.
I know. I feel the same way. And it's until we give we take our power back and you call the phone number and you say, I challenge this. And they actually say, oh, never mind. Like,
Yep.
what? Then why send a stupid letter out in the first place? Is it just so we can say no? Is it giving us an opportunity to say no in a way that we absolutely give our power away to the government and to the IRS and to taxes and all that stuff?
Yep.
100%. And she said in her 20 years, it happens all the time, all the
Yep.
time. And it's not
Yep.
even like a legitimate thing. And half the time it's fraud. Like, people posing as the IRS hoping to get money from you. So you can't even tell the difference.
Right. Right. So in that case, I would say for everybody, like watch your own intuition right here.
Yes,
Because it's popping up to give you, and the universe is doing a little bit of a tester right here too, to be like, hey, do you want to keep playing that one? Because you have freedom right here.
right, right. I mean, I play by the rules. I do what I'm supposed to do. And I have, professionals that are guiding me through that and filing and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff and nice stroke checks for that. And, I do what I'm supposed to do, even though, hey, the government should be responsible as well. But that's a whole nother
Right.
podcast.
Right.
But okay, so yeah, so in that moment, we are challenging it. My CPA is challenging it. And I'm saying, I don't buy into this just because you say it's so.
Right. Right. And
Show me. Show me.
where does that lead you? I'm not buying into this because you say it's so. Where do you think that construct and story comes from?
I have no idea. But I know I do it in parenting.
That yeah, it's so deeply ingrained in our
Yeah.
systems.
Yeah.
Like where it's like, oh, just because you say it's so, does that mean we have to do it? And that's generally a parental wound, but it's stemming all the way back in our humanity piece to the very beginning of us being here.
I was gonna say it's generational,
It's thick.
like thousands and thousands of years type of generational.
Thick. Yep, yep, yep. So it's a challenging one to step out of and actually challenge that piece. So, I'm just asking everybody to step back, zoom out for a second, call your power back and challenge something that doesn't feel appropriate to you.
How do we clear that strand? How do we clear that energy?
Quite frankly, I do this every morning and evening. I sit with myself and say, how am I giving my power away? What does this look like? How does this feel? How can I bring it back? And how can I say no to feeding energy that's going to keep me in a very unsovereign place?
Yes. So we can turn around in that maze and because that just led us to a dead end,
Yep.
expand in our power and go a different route and find something else that feels better that we can resonate with as a new path of creation.
Exactly. New path of creation, something that feels freer, something that feels easier, because yes, it is out there, everybody. We can't get to that point.
And it doesn't
And
mean do anything illegal. It doesn't mean, defy
no,
structures that are there for our best and highest good to be
no.
legitimate in this world.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm not asking you to rebel in any which way.
Right,
I'm
right.
asking you to empower yourself and sit in yourself long enough to know what's right for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, and it is a construct break. And I always say too, for those who are really working in this quantum space, is make sure when you're sitting with yourself that you break contracts multidimensionally, that you tell yourself, no, I don't want to play a game that's not sovereign. I want to be myself. And I'm going to do that multidimensionally through all these incarnations back to the point of creation. Because saying that and commanding that, you're literally reverberating it off into the quantum field. Okay, I don't want any of those other spaces that are holding on to this either, because I don't want to be in that.
Well, what does it look like in 5D, in ascension type energy, when we've moved past that? What does it look like?
Quite frankly, I go by a feeling because everybody's got a different perspective on it, right? I go by the feeling of what makes my body feel liberated, sovereign, easy, abundant. with flow. I can generate wherever I go. There's play 24/7. I'm going to wake up and say, hey, how would I like to play the game today in my imagination? Because this is a story I'm creating right now. Right? So I'm going to lead towards that feeling of it. And the more that I do that, I'm excited for this. This feels like free. It feels flowing. The communication I've got with this person is in co-creation. We're working with each other in a very lovely way. I'm going to keep saying, hey, universe, I want more of that. Hey, body, I want more of that. And it's going to naturally bring me into those spaces where I'm going to get more and more and more and gain more momentum, and then keep expanding more and more and more and gain more momentum, and keep taking those level steps like that. And that does not mean I won't go through some things to get there. No, I will. I'm gonna I'm gonna still need to take it myself, look at myself, settle in myself if there's any constructs or things that aren't matching with me, or do I need to use my voice very powerfully? Do I need to actually anchor this in a format where, maybe I do lose a few of these friends because that's now not there anymore. No, it's me being me entirely, taking it a step at a time, knowing that I am already in that freedom space, but I'm gonna get to more of that, taking my action step in play 24/7.
It doesn't feel as tight in my chest anymore. And what I'm doing is I'm checking in to see it's still here, but not as heavy. So I can feel like just releasing and sort of surrendering into the play and creation, and like giving myself permission to be more powerful in the face of fear.
That's it right there. Circle these golden nuggets because you've had a fantastic amount of them today. Thank you, Jen.
Well, thank you for this session.
Pulling those through into the space and saying, yeah. And being in awareness is the first step to this. Like, oh, look, I'm actually giving my power. I'm tired right now. Why am I tired? Who am I giving my power away right now? And what do I need to do about that? What is my inner child wanting to do to play right now? Maybe that means like, hey, instead of ruminating on how I might not have something or be in lack at some point in time, I'm going to bring my power back and say, okay, how can I play with something right in the moment?
And choose something different, because if you're at the dead end, you just got to find a different route forward.
Exactly.
All the universe is saying. What's that?
Right. You're not, and know that you're not dying. You're just needing to go a different route. It's just choosing differently.
Yes.
Right. My body did that this morning because I was in a very expansive space, like literally so many visions coming through. And my body was like, oh, that's kind of a lot. And I was like, yeah, no, it's just because it's more expansive than you would have been able to know inside your body. And my body was like, right. So that means I'm going to use this energy then to create something. And my idea popped up of going, oh, I want to create this like Earth game manual where you're talking to your little self and shifting out of that parameter.
That's cool. The
Okay,
instruction
so
manual to life. Oh my God, it's finally going to exist.
it's gonna, it's coming into play right now as my own playbook. And I'm like, oh, that's because all these facets that I just went through over the last few months has been leading me to this point where now I can use that creationary energy to what my body thought was fear,
Yeah.
and use it for something that's actually in creation that's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Right. So made a different choice with that. Whereas, before, or many years ago, or in different places and spaces, depending, like the system would have been like, that's a little bit too much. Not going to go that. Where's my safety? Where's my safety here?
Yeah.
Right. And when you hit that point where your system's like, oh, I've got to lean towards something for safety, whether that's like food, whether that's, I don't know, worry, whether that's anxiety, whatever it is that it shoots out for, again, stop yourself and be like, what am I losing my power to when this is just new?
Yeah. So it's not fear. It's just different.
Just different.
Yeah.
That's all.
And getting control over it. Like when you feel that in your body, you just have to talk yourself off the ledge and just talk yourself down,
Right.
like just
Yeah.
talk yourself down, calm, and then regroup. And my biggest thing is not reacting when I'm in that fear mode.
Exactly.
Give yourself a beat, stop, pause, and then calmer heads prevail and make your decisions then. Don't make a decision in that moment of fight or flight, because you will give your power away. At least I did. And, now that I've had a couple of hours of reflection, I've got a couple of different options that I want to potentially like exercise or play with in terms of where
Right.
I'm going to go forward next. But in
Yeah.
that moment, I absolutely did give my power away. But I choose to actually kind of hold on to my power now
Yeah, you
and choose to use
recognize
it.
it. That's the biggest thing. You recognize it. You're like, oh, so you can be a little bit angry about it, or whatever the case is. Also, too, you can say, I'm going to call my power back from that very point in time, bring it
Yeah.
back into myself, and I'm not going to choose that route again.
Yeah. Because I want something new as an outcome.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Wow, girl, this was big.
this was some big shifting. Woo!
I am so glad you wanted to connect today on this topic. This was really great. And I think there's a lot of people that are struggling with this right now.
Yeah. Oh, totally. They are. I'm excited about this one. I heard it. I was like, hey, let's pop this. And I think I'm going to do that anytime. Like some of this is popping up. Like
Yeah.
let's shift this paradigm right now because it's coming up to play.
I'm
So
game. I'm game. Let's do it. Let's keep this dialogue going because we're all about paradigm shifting and we're all about like helping to
exactly,
heal those reflective bits that are showing up in the collective conscious, but they're also showing up in our own personal lives as well. We can completely relate to that. We can shift and change as we help the collective shift and change as well.
exactly. So thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to keep this up too. And also those of you who want to interact with this, like drop in some questions, things maybe you want to that you're seeing that you want to shift or anything else that might be coming through. So
Yeah. What are some additional topics that we can help work through for you?
absolutely. Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
I
With
love it. All
you.
right.
Say with you, work it with you, alongside with you, and shift to shift.
Shift to shifts.
Right. All right.
We'll
Well, I
see
love you
you.
so much.
All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.